Now, so in the last session, we have discussed about the collections. So, what exactly the collection classes? What is the use? And what collection classes are available in Salesforce? And we have discussed that we have three collection classes in Salesforce. That is list class, in the set class, and the map class. So these are the three collection classes that we have, and we have discussed about the list collection class in the last session. And what exactly a list collection class? What is the use? How to define a list collection class? And then how can we manage the elements into the collection class by using the various ready-made methods which has been given by Salesforce as part of this list class? We have discussed one by one. Now today we'll see the practical implementation of this list collection class and how to use this list collection class to manage the elements. We'll see practically here. Now, so let me go with that, the execute anonymous window, so that we can able to implement the practical part. So I'm opening the execute anonymous window. Now let's see how can we implement that. First of all, we need to create the object of the list collection class in order to access those methods to manage the elements. So I'm creating that object of the list collection class over here. I'm creating a list collection which can able to store a collection of string type of elements. String, some LST names equals to new list of string. List of string. So this is the collection that we have created. Now, I have created a list collection which can able to hold a collection of elements of type string. Nothing but every element will be of type string. Then how many? N number of. Keep on, we can able to add the elements into the collection. There is no limitations. So now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case, once the collection has been getting prepared, then what elements are available right now inside this collection? Nothing. There is no elements available right now. Then how do you know what is the collection size right now here? I want to get the collection size. Collection size. Print the collection size. Then how can we display the collection size? We are using a method called as size method. Now the collection size is, size means what? How many number of elements are available inside the collection here. How can we access? By using the object name dot the method called as size method. By using that size method, we can able to display the collection size here. So here we don't have any elements right now. We haven't added any elements, so the collection size is 0. Now let me execute this. Click on execute. See the results here inside the developer console. Click on debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating the collection size is 0 because there is no elements are available here right now. Now, I want to add some elements inside this here. I'm adding some elements. How can we add some elements? By using add method. LST names dot add of. I'm adding the elements here, like as apex. LST names dot add of some welcome. LST names dot add of some hello. List names dot add of some India. So these are the 4 elements I have added over here. Once you are adding the elements into the collection, now after adding these elements, I want to know the collection size here. So that here I'm printing that message. Here I'm indicating that after adding elements, I want to show the collection size. Now it has to show the collection size as 4. Why? Because here I have added 4 elements inside my collection over here. And along with that, I want to show the collection elements. So that I'm displaying the collection elements here. Collection elements are, I want to display that. LST name. Just to give the collection name, then automatically all the elements available inside the collection will be getting visible to you. So now, let's execute this code. See the results inside the developer console. Click on debug only. Now it is indicating that after adding elements, the collection size is 4. Initially, the collection size is 0, and then we have added the 4 elements, so now the collection size is 4. Collection elements are Apex, Welcome, Hello, India. These are the elements are there inside the collection. Now tell me, is the collection is an ordered collection or unordered collection? Let's see. Now, whenever I'm adding the elements, first of all, I have added the element with the name Apex. Here inside the collection, the first element is Apex. And then I have added welcome. In the same element is there. And then I have added hello. Here also the hello is available, third position. And then the 4th element I have added is India. Now it is available India. That means what? Whatever the order that I have added the elements, in the same order the elements are there inside the collection. That means list is an ordered collection. Okay, this is a ordered collection which preserves the insertion order over here. Okay, which preserves the insertion order inside that. Okay, next one. After that, I want to display the elements one by one, because here all the elements have been getting visible inside a single row itself. All the elements has been getting visible inside a single row. Okay, all the elements has been visible inside a single row, but not like that. I want to show every element inside a separate row over here. For that one, what we can do, we need to iterate the collection from starting to ending, and then we can display the elements over here. Display the elements in separate rows. For that one, I would like to verify that. For each and every element, so I'm using the enhanced for loop. What is the collection name? LST names here. Then collection will be having elements of type what? String. So that I'm giving that string element. I'm giving a reference name as element. So now here I want to display the elements over here. Element name is element. Because I have given the variable name as element over here, so I'm displaying that element. That means what? I'm going to be iterating this collection from starting to ending, and then I'm getting every element inside the collection. I'm storing inside a variable over here. This is the name I have given that, and that element name I'm printing over here. Okay, I'm displaying each and every element in a separate row. Now let's execute this one. We can see all these elements one by one. Select the debug only checkbox. Now all the elements will be getting visible in the separate rows over here. What are the elements you have specified? Next one. So now as of now, whenever I'm adding a new element, then this element will be adding at the end of the collection over here. Okay, it will be adding at the end of the collection. But sometimes I want to add an element at the middle position. That means I want to insert an element at a specific index position over here. So that already we have discussed that Listed collection is going to be maintaining the indexes for every element, that every element will be identified by using index position which will be starting from 0. So now I want to add that elements over here. As of now I have added 4 elements. Now apex is at the index position 0, welcome is at 1, hello element index position is 2, and then India is 3. Now in this position 1 I want to add one more element over here, so that these elements will be getting escalated to the next level automatically. So then how can we insert an element at a specific index position? Now let's see practically here. Insert an element. Now lst names dot add. I want to add an element at the index position 1. At 1, I want to add an element called as some Hyderabad. So now I want to show that system.debug. After inserting the collection elements are, I want to show the collection elements here, lst names. So I'm inserting an element into the collection at a specific index position 1. So now whatever the element is available at the index position 1, these will be escalating to the next level. This will be moving forward to the one more level over here, so that it will be adjusted automatically. Now let's execute this one. Go to the developer console to see the results. Select the debug only. Now it is indicating after inserting the elements here. Previously we have apex, welcome, hello, India. Now we are having apex, after that we are having that Hyderabad, and then welcome here. Okay, it is at the third position. Previously it is at the second, now it is at the third position here. And then hello, and then India. That means these are going to be escalating to the next level automatically by default here. Okay, now the next one. Adding a collection of elements. How can we add a collection of elements into my list collection here? Now let's see. I'm preparing a string array. String, some country names equals to new string array. I'm preparing a string array. I'm adding some elements inside that. Like as I'm adding some elements, like as some USA, UK, some Australia, some China, some Middle East, and some Japan. So these are the elements are there inside my collection over here. I want to dump all these elements into my list collection in one shot. So here I'm having some 6 elements are available. I don't want to add all these elements one by one, one by one, one by one. I want to dump all these elements into my list collection in one shot. So that here, just to go to that collection over here, lst names dot then. What method do we need to use to add a collection of elements? We have to use a method called as add all. Okay, there is a method called as add all method. So now we have to specify that collection name over here, country names. So now I'm using that method called as add all, which is going to be adding all the elements available inside the collection, that is country names. Country names is a collection over here, that means an array which is having so many elements are available. These elements will be adding into your collection one by one, one by one, one by one in the same order over here. Now after that I want to display that. System.debug. After adding elements are, I want to show the elements over here. lst names. I want to show all those elements over here. And then I want to show the collection size also. Okay, I want to show the collection size also. Previously we are having 5 elements because initially we have added 4. and then I have inserted one more element 5, and then here we are going to we are adding 5 more elements, 6 more elements, so totally 11 elements are available. Now click on execute, see the results, select the debug only. Now after adding the elements are here, I'm displaying that Apex Hyderabad, welcome, hello India. After that the elements has been added automatically in one shot over here. So previously we are having that 5 elements are there. Now we are adding 6 elements. So totally the collection size is 11. So it will be having 11 elements are available inside the collection. The next one, I'm adding some duplicates over here. Duplicates into the collections. So will the listed collection will allow the duplicate elements or not? Yes. Listed collection will allow the duplicate elements as well. Now, how to add the duplicate elements here? Let me verify. The list in names dot add. I'm adding an element here with the name some India. Now tell me, do we have already an element India or not? Yes, already we have the element with the name some India. Now I am adding one more time over here. So now here in this case, how can we add? So now here I'm indicating that after adding duplicates, collection sizes, I want to show the collection size. LST names dot size. So now here I'm adding a duplicate element over here. Now after adding the duplicate element, it has to display the collection size here. Previously we have 11, now it has to show 12 because this collection allows the duplicate elements as well. Now click on execute. Select the debug only checkbox. Now after adding the duplicate element, the collection size is 12. Now the next one. The next one, I want to get the element available at a specific position here. Okay, I want to get the element available at a specific position. Then how can we get the elements based on the index position? So now here I want to display that system.debug element exists at the third index position. Element exists at the third index position. I want to get that. So that I'm using a list in names dot get of 3. So whatever the element exists at the index position 3, I want to get that element and I want to display it. So that here I'm going to be using that get method. That already we have discussed that get method is used to get the element based on the index position. At the index position 3. So now here already we have the elements here. This is the 0th index position and then first and the second and the third. So it has to display the value India over here. And now click on execute. See the results. Now it is indicating that. So it is indicating the value hello. Why? We are having first element is Apex, index position 0, and then Hyderabad, we are inserted the element over here. This is the 1, this is the 2, and this is the 3. That means hello. Element hello will be available over here inside this. Okay. The next one. Now. So now I would like to remove an element from the collection over here. Then how can we remove the element? remove the element from the collection. How can we remove? So in this case here, whenever you are removing the element, first of all, we have to know the index position. Based on what index position you want to remove the element over here. Now, in this case, how can we verify? So now, before removing that element from the collection, we should aware of the collection is empty or not. How do you know whether the collection is empty or not? By using isEmpty method here. So for that one here, I verify that if the collection is not empty, what is the collection name? List name start is empty. It is going to be returning whether the collection is empty or not. When you want to remove the element, if the collection will be holding some elements. If the collection is empty, I don't want to show anything over here. If the collection is not empty, I want to remove an element here. So that I'm verifying that if the collection is not empty, so that I'm using not operator. If the collection is not empty, I want to remove the element over here. So then how can we remove the element? Lst names dot remove of 3. Whatever the element that you want, you can remove that element by specifying the index position over here. I want to remove the element based on the index that is 3. Now I want to show that. After removing the element, collection size is lst names dot size. I'm displaying the size of that collection here. If the collection is not empty, then only I'm going to be removing that element. In order to know whether the collection is empty or not, we have to use that method here, isEmpty method. If it is not empty, so that I have used that not operator here. Okay. If the collection is not empty, then only I want to remove that element here. Now let's execute this. So I'm removing an element over here. So previously we have 12 elements. Now after removing an element, the collection size is 11. So here we have removed an element from that collection over here. The next one. I want to arrange the elements in a sorting order over here. Then how can we arrange here? Sort the collection elements. How can we arrange? So whatever the collection name is available, just use the method called as sort method. Automatically, the elements will be getting arranged in a sorting order over here. Then we can display the elements. System.debug. After sorting, collection elements are. I'm displaying the collection elements by using a for loop over here. For each and every string element from the collection here, lst names. I want to show that elements over here. After sorting that collection, the collection elements are, I would like to display those elements over here. I would like to sort the elements by using that sort method. Now let's see the execution process over here. Now, so now whenever we are going to be sorting that element, then whatever the elements are available, these elements will be getting arranged in the alphabetical order by default here. That means from A to Z format. So now whatever the elements are available, those elements will be getting arranged. Now let's see, how can we arrange those elements over here? So now when coming to the sort method is going to be arranging the elements inside the collection. But I want to know, right? I want to display that whether it has been arranged or not. I want to know. For that one, I'm displaying those elements by using that for loop here. Okay. For that, I have used that for loop in order to display those elements here. After sorting that collection, I would like to see okay how the elements has been arranged. So that I would like to know that for that one, I'm displaying that elements here. Now click on execute. Let's see the results. Select the debug only. Previously, the elements are like this: Apex, Hyderabad, Welcome, Hello, India, like this here. Now, once the elements has been getting sorted, then I'm displaying those elements over here. So this is the order. The elements are available. That means Apex, Australia, China, Hyderabad, India, Japan, Middle East, UK, USA, and then finally Welcome. Like that here the elements has been getting arranged. So in order to see this list, I have printed that by using for loop over here. So now we got the confirmation elements has been arranged in the alphabetical order here. Next, after that, I want to remove all the elements. For example here, assume that. Let me explain one more additional method over here. For example, inside my collection, I'm having an element over here. Like Apex is the 0th index position, Australia at the first index position, China at the second, and then Hyderabad at the third, like that. Now, I want to replace this value Hyderabad with a value called as Bangalore. I want to replace. Okay, I want to replace this value with the Bangalore location here. That means what? Whatever the element available at the index position 3, I want to replace that value with a new value called as Bangalore. Then how can we replace that value over here? Now, in this case here, I want to replace the value which is available at the specific index position over here. Then how can we replace? Now let's see practically in this case here. For that one, list collection is providing a method called as set method. Now replace the element value. Now lst names dot set. Set is a method. Now here I am passing the index position 3. At the index position 3, whatever the element is available, I want to replace that element with the value called as Bangalore. Next one, after that I want to display the elements here. After replace, elements are, I'm displaying the elements over here. LST names, the collection name. Whatever the elements are there, I'm displaying those elements after replacing that element here. That means it's like called as a replace function when coming to your notepad. So now I'm finding out the element which is available in the index position 3. Whatever the value may be there inside the index position 3, that element I want to erase, and in that place I want to replace the value called as Bangalore. Now click on execute. See the results. Select the debug only checkbox. So now these are the elements are available. Index position 0, 1, 2, 3. Third position is Hyderabad. Now that Hyderabad has been replaced with Bangalore. See, Apex 0th index position, Australia, and then China, and then we are having Hyderabad that has been replaced with Bangalore. So that we can able to replace the value by using the set method as well. That flexibility is available to you. Next one, I want to remove all the elements here. Remove all the elements from the collection. So for that I have to use clear method. I'm using the clear method, then I'm displaying that. Now After removing all, the collection size is, I want to show that collection size. lst names dot size. lst names dot size. Now, whatever the elements are available inside my collection, I'm removing all the elements by using the clear method. And after that, I would like to show that collection size. If you're removing all the elements, then what is the collection size? Then it should be 0 because all the elements has been removed. Collection is empty now, so that here in the collection size will be 0 because there is no elements are available. All the elements we have removed. Now click on execute. Select the debug only checkbox. Now when you come down, it is indicating the collection size is 0 because I have removed all the elements available inside my collection here. So this is how we can able to manage the elements available inside my collection by using the ready-made methods which has been given by Salesforce here as part of list. Okay. Now there is the implementation part. Here I'm giving the method name over here, set method. Here we can specify the index position and then element name. This method is used to replace the element value with the new value based on the specified index position. For example, customer names dot set of 2 comma, we can use some value. So this is the implementation part here. See, here set is just a method. It's a method of list collection class. Okay, set is a method. Here we are passing that the list. We are passing the index position. It is a part of that class. That's it. It is a part of that my list class. That's it. So we are calling that method. We are passing the parameters. These are nothing but the parameters. You know the subprograms concept here. Parameter is the procedures. So we are passing some parameters over here. Okay. Now, next one. The next concept here. The next concept is bulkification or bulkify process. Bulkification or bulkify process. So it's the most important feature. Every functionality inside Salesforce has to be get implemented in terms of bulkification process. So what do you mean by bulkification or bulkify? For example, I want to insert some 100 records into my object. It may be anything, account, contact, whatever. I want to insert some 100 records. Then how can we insert the 100 records? We have to prepare the record by using a for loop and then we have to insert one by one. Now, let me show you practically in this case here. Let me show you an example here. Previously, we might have created a class. There we have implemented a collection of records here. Let me prepare one more method here. Like as bulkify other contacts helper. I'm preparing a class with the name contacts helper. I want to create some 100 contact records. How to create? Let's see. This method is used to create 100 contact records. Now, how can we create? I'm preparing a method. I'm preparing a static method, public static void create bulk contacts. I'm preparing the method inside the class. How many I want to create? 100 I want to create. So that I'm creating a for loop over here. I'm passing the values. I'm iterating that collection from starting to ending. Integer, some counter value equals to 1, and the counter value will be reaching to the 100 and the counter plus plus. So now here I'm going to be iterating the collection. So we're iterating that for loop from 1 to 100 times, so that in each and every iteration I can prepare a contact record. Now preparing the contact record here. Creating the contact record. How can we create? I'm creating the object of the class. Contact, some CYN equals to new contact. I'm passing the value. Contact dot first name. I'm passing some sample. Contact dot last name. Some test record. Test record hyphen, I'm adding that counter value. Like as sample test contact 1, sample test record 2, sample test record 3, like that I would like to create up to 100. Contact dot email ID. Like as test record, I'm adding that counter value at the rate some gmail.com. Like as test record 1 at the rate gmail.com, test record 2 at the rate gmail.com, like that. Next one, contact dot title. I'm giving like some project manager. Contact dot phone. I'm giving the value. Contact dot fax. I've given some value here. Contact dot department. I'm giving like some sales department. Now I'm inserting the contact record. So that insert contact. And then I want to display that here. If contact.id not equals to null, I want to show that. System.debug contact record ID is, I want to display that. That is contact.id. So this is the process that I'm doing right now. So I'm inserting the contact records here. How many? 100 records. So that I have prepared a for loop. This for loop is repeating from 1 to 100 times. And in each and every iteration, it is preparing one contact record. So initially the counter value will be 1. It will check the condition 1 less than or equals to 100. So now if the condition is true, it will be entering into the block. It will prepare one contact record. It will insert the contact record. And then it will increment the value by 2. So now the counter value will be 2. 2 less than or equals to 100. Condition is true. Again, it will enter into the block again. It will create one more contact record. Like that, up to 100 times it will iterate. 100 contact records will be getting created. Now, in this case, to insert the contact record, what we are using that insert statement over here, which is used to insert a record into that object over here. Now, in this kind of situations here, so insert is what? One of the DML operation, data manipulation operation. We are creating some records into that object over here. So now here in this case here, Now, whenever the for loop is executing this one first time, the first time one insert statement will use. In the second time, upon creating the second record, one more time, that means 2 times here as of now. Third time, one more. Fourth time, one more. 100th time, one more. Like that here, up to 100 insert statements will be getting used. That means 100 DML statements will be used. Now, now. So now here in this case, I am going to be executing this method. Then automatically 100 contact records will be getting created here. Now let me save this class by using Control S. Now execute this method here. My class name is contacts helper. Go to the execute anonymous window. Invoke the method. I'm giving the class name dot create bulk contacts. I'm calling that method directly by using class name dot method name here. Now click on execute button. It is sending the request to the Salesforce server. Now my processing has been done. So when you go to the debug log file, okay, select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating 100 records has been inserted successfully here. Each and every contact record ID has been visible. And then unselect the debug only checkbox. When you come down to the last, at the last here, now it is indicating how many DML statements you have used. See. So how many DML statements you have used over here inside the debug log file? We have used number of DML statements used is 100 out of 150. That means what over here? That already we have discussed that. When coming to the Salesforce has given maximum of 150 DML statements over here. That means inside a single transaction, we can able to use maximum of 150 DML statements. So now here I have used 100. Okay, I have used 100 because for loop is repeating for 100 times. Suppose if the for loop is repeating for more than 150 times, then what will happen? Let me show you now. So now here I'm indicating that. I'm indicating the counter value from 1000. I'm iterating till 1200. Now tell me how many times the for loop will be iterating right now over here? 1000 to 1200. That means what? 201 times. Okay, 201 times here. Why? Because it is starting from 1000. So that is 1. And then 1001 to 1200. That means what here? 200. Totally 201 times it will be executing this for loop here. So how many DML statements we are using? 201 DML statements we are using. Because in each and every iteration, it will use one insert statement. So totally 201 times it will iterate, 201 times it will be using that. Observe what will happen in this case here. Save your class code. Now try to execute it here. Now execute this one. Click on execute. Observe what will happen in this case. So when you try to execute the 151st time, it will cause the exception. It will raise a limit over here, limit exception. Now it is indicating that system.limit exception, too many DML statements, 151. That means inside a single transaction, we can able to use maximum of 150 DML statements, but you are trying to be using more than that limit. So you are crossing the limit. So it will be causing that exception, like here system.limit exception, too many DML statements, 151. So that your operation will be getting aborted. The previous 150 records will be getting cancelled. The whole transaction will be getting cancelled automatically by default. So now here in this case here, that means what? 150 records we can able to process as of now at a time. Now you can raise a question, sir, I'm having some lakhs of records are there. I want to insert. If I'm inserting 150, 150, 150 like that, it will take more time. Then what we can do? In this kind of situations, instead of inserting each and every record one by one, one by one, then collect all these records and store into a collection. Okay, store into a collection. That means what? Collect the record, nothing but prepare the record. Don't insert. Okay, prepare the record and then add into a collection. And then second record, add into the collection. Third one, add into the collection. Like that. After preparing all the records, add all those records into the collection. Once all the records are there inside the collection, then insert all this collection of records in one shot. For that one, they have introduced a feature called as bulkification feature. They have introduced bulkification feature here. Bulkification means what? Instead of performing the operations on each record separately, add all the records into a collection. Once all the records has been added to the collection, then perform the DML operation on the collection in one shot. So that we can use one DML statement and we can process 200 records in one shot. Now, let's see practically how can we do that here. In this case, so here what I want to do, I want to insert a collection of contact record, 201 contact records here. For that one, once the contact record is ready, then here I don't want to insert this contact record over here. I don't want to insert this contact record. Then what we can do in this case, I want to add this contact record or I want to store this contact record into my collection. That collection should be here. I'm preparing a listing collection here. Prepare a listing collection to store the contact record. That means each and every element will be of type a contact here. So that I'm creating a listing collection. List of what? Contact. That already you are aware of that here. That means here every element inside the collection will be of type a contact record. So I'm giving that contact the collection name as LST contacts equals to new list of contact. Now I have prepared a list collection over here. Now, so once the contact record has been getting prepared here, now initially my list collection is empty. There is no elements are available. Now, in this case here, once the contact record has been getting prepared here, I would like to add this element to my collection over here. Add the record to the collection. How can we add an element to the collection here? By using add method. So that we have to use that add method. Because LST contacts dot add of contact record here. Now I'm adding this. That's it. Done. So now here what you want to do, so now I'm preparing a list collection where every element will be of type a contact record, because here I would like to store all these contact records into my collection over here. Because I'm not able to insert every record separately one by one, because Salesforce has given that maximum of 150 DML statements inside a transaction, so that I want to perform more number of records operations at a time. For that reason, I don't want to insert every record separately. I want to collect all the records. I want to store all those records in one place. And then finally, I would like to insert all these records in one shot over here. Now, in this case here, I have prepared a collection in order to store these elements over here. Now I'm preparing each and every contact record. Once the contact record has been prepared, I'm storing this contact record inside my collection over here by using that add method. Now after this for loop, okay, once the for loop is over, after that for loop we have to verify. Now I would like to insert all this collection of records at a time. Before inserting that, we have to verify if the collection is empty or not. Now LST contacts is empty or not. If the collection is not empty, okay, if the collection is not empty, then I want to insert that collection over here. I'm giving that collection name. That's it. Done. Okay. Now, here even though if you are specifying some 1400 also, see, I'm giving some 1400. That means 401 records are available. Let's see what will happen in this case here. Now, before executing this one, let me verify how many contact records are there as of now. Now tell me how many contact records are there inside my object now. I'm having 121 contact records are there. Now I'm trying to be inserting 401 again. Okay. So now here I am going to be indicating that. So now it will be starting from the 1000 to 1400. That means 401 times it will iterate that. In each and every iteration, one contact record will be getting prepared. Once the contact record has been prepared, it will add that contact record to my collection. It is a best practice in Salesforce. Always every functionality has to be implemented in terms of bulkification. That means what here? How many DML statements we have used right now? Only one. Now what I'm inserting? Collection. Collection contains how many records? 401 records. That means by using one DML statement insert, we can insert 401 records at a time in one shot. So now here this kind of implementations we have to do always in Salesforce over here. So now don't insert each and every record separately. Add those records to the collection. Once all the records have been added to the collection, then we can able to perform the DML operations on the collection at a time, so that by using one single DML statement, we can able to process multiple records in one shot. That flexibility is available to you here. For that reason, we are going to be using that collections. Now, so now let me try to execute that same class over here. Now, previously I'm getting that too many DML statements exception. Now, I'm executing the same one here. Now click on execute. Let's see the results. No operation has been processed. Previously for 151 only, nothing but for 200 records only, it will be raising the exception. But now I am processing 401 records. Now it has done. Now let's see. Let's go to your Salesforce instance. Previously we have 121 records. Now refresh this user interface. Now how many records are there now? 522 records. That means 401 record we have inserted. All those records you can see. So now you will be having that the sample tester record, like that here, sample tester record 1, sample tester record 2, like that here, everything, all the records are available over here. You can able to see all those information inside that. Now how many DML statements we have used? Let me go to the debug only here. When you come down at the last, come down to the last here. Now tell me how many DML statements we have used. Number of DML statements you have utilized, how many? One out of 150. Previously how many we have used? 100 to insert 100 records itself. But now I'm inserting 401 record. How many we have used? Only one DML statement. By using this single DML statement, how many records I have processed? 401 records we have processed over here. This is the count over here. 401 records we have processed over here. So this is what the concept of bulkification. This is what the power of collections. Now, collections are used to hold the elements. Okay, collections are used to hold the elements to avoid the governor limits. Okay, to avoid the governor limits over here. So now here in this case, this is a common question in every interview. What do you mean by the exception 151? That means 151. So now 151 exception means what here? It's a DML exception. So we have to explain that whenever you are trying to be inserting the records into the object, okay, whenever you are trying to be inserting the record into the object, inside a single transaction, we can able to use a maximum of 150 DML statements. When you try to use more than 150 DML statement, then Salesforce will cross the governor limit. It will raise an exception. System.limit exception. Too many DML statements 151. Now, in this case here, always upon implementing the functionalities, always we have to use the bulkification process, where instead of performing the operation on each and every record separately by using a separate DML statement, we have to add all those records to the collection. Once all the records has been added to the collection, then we have to perform the DML operations on those collection at a time. So that by using a single DML statement itself, we can able to process collection of records in one shot. For that one, we have to use bulkification process here. So then how can we implement the bulkification process? Bulkification process can be done with the help of for loop and collections. Okay, with the help of for loop and collections, we have implemented the bulkification process over here. Okay, so this is the concept of bulkification process here. Okay, now let me place that code. Write an Apex program to insert 400 records into the contact object by using bulkify process. Bulkification or bulkify both are same. So this is the power of collection. That's what here we are using that collection always. Now, I'm giving some assignments on this one. Write an Apex program to insert 900 hiring manager records. 900 hiring manager records through bulkify process. Every functionality we have to implement like this only from now onwards. Don't insert the each record separately. Use bulkification always. Next one. Write an Apex program to insert 1000 lead records into the lead object. Okay. Try these two functionalities. Tomorrow we'll see the next collection class, that is set collection. Set and the map we'll see practically here. So what exactly the set collection, what is the use, and then what exactly the map collection, what is the use, how to use those map collections we'll see practically here. So after that we'll start the SOQL queries concept. How can we query the data from the database? We'll see practically over there. Okay. So now do the practice on this one, 2 examples, and then you will be able to understand this bulkification process, and then do these 2 examples over here. The recordings are already uploaded over here. The drive is up to date right now.